What's up, Womack Nostalgia? Dave here with a review of Novocaine, the action comedy film starring Jack Quaid. Novocaine is, the latest in this new iteration of recent action comedy films. I think action films, post John Wick have kind of gone into two paths here. The ones that are very serious and very gritty, like an Atomic Blonde, like the upcoming John Wick spin-off Ballerina. And then of course you have the stuff that's a little bit lighter in the action comedy lane, like the Kingsman movies, of course Deadpool. And Novocaine I think fits more into that mold. This is really the first big star turn from Jack Quaid since he broke out as Huey on Amazon Prime's The Boys, of course. This film is directed by Dan Burke and Robert Olson, filmmaking duo. I think to me the most significant thing they did was Villains in 2019 with Bill Skarsgård and Micah Monroe. I enjoyed that movie quite a bit. And yeah, I think overall, Novocaine is a solid action comedy film. I think Jack Quaid really quits himself well. He's a very charming screen presence, and he fits right into the tone of this movie. Ultimately, Novocaine doesn't really do too much to differentiate itself from other, films in this genre, but it's a broadly entertaining time. I enjoyed Amber Midthunder as his love interest as well. Ultimately, the script's a bit thin. I think the villains in particular are quite weak. It starts to lose you by the end, but the action comedy of it all and the central premise of Quaid's character as someone who cannot feel pain and thus is tough to take down in a fight is pretty fun. I think it's light on its feet, especially in the beginning. I think the twist in the movie lands effectively as well. Overall, I'm positive on the movie. I think the early stuff with Jack Quaid's Nathan, kind of finding a kindred spirit, someone else who has something to hide in Amber Midthunder's Sherry. I think the early stuff with them, the meet cute, them getting to know each other, I think that's done pretty well. It's a good establishing motivation for when Sherry gets kidnapped by these bank robbers at the bank Jack and Sherry work at. You understand why sorry, Nathan, not Jack. You understand why Nathan is so motivated to track her down and finds out in real time, progresses about his inability to feel pain, can really kind of push him to continue to fight and push forward, even while ultimately he's not invincible or anything. He still bleeds. He can still die. It's just that he doesn't really know he's taking damage, so to speak. I think that's all pretty good. As we spend more time with the bank robbers, though, that trio, I think two of them in particular are really poor actors, and then the one who gets the most to do is just Diet Nicholas Holt to me. I kind of struggle with them as fully fleshed out characters. Jacob Batalon, of course, from the Spider-Man Tom Holland films of fame, he's Nathan's friend from online gaming, and he's charming in his own right, even though he has very little to really do in the movie as well. I think Amber Thunder, she has more to do in this movie than she did in A24's Opus, which released the same day as Novocaine, funny enough. And I've enjoyed her. I think she's got a nice presence to her as well. Of course, breaking out with Prey, but thankfully, thankfully, the movie's twist allows her character Sherry to have more to do in the movie than I initially anticipated. So, yeah, and I think there's some suspension of disbelief in terms of the behavior of the police in this movie as well, which again we kind of let that to the side. It doesn't really bother me too much, but I mean I think the plot started to kind of become a little questionable with that sort of thing. Overall, though, again, I think the action is solid and well shot, but not spectacular. This isn't like watching The Raid. You're not gonna be wowed really by any of the action in this movie. I think if anything, Jack Quaid's charms and his chemistry with Amber Midthunder is probably the biggest selling point of the movie, and I guess the central concept of his character being able to feel pain and trying to fight a bunch of people. I think that those two elements are the best things about the movie. Overall, though, it's a solid construction, and happy I saw it. Let me know though, what'd you think of Novocaine? Did you like it more than me? If so, let me know why. And for more movie reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.